and welcome to Millionaire Faith, the testimony of an entrepreneur. And you're here with myself, Dr. Sylvia Jones, the Queen of Vision. And we have a very special guest with us today. Her name is Monnique Sykes. And she is going to tell us just a little bit about herself and her entrepreneurial testimony.
Yes, my name is Monnique Sykes, and I am originally from Richmond, Virginia. However, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia 4.5 years ago due to just life, losing my mom and then losing my dad in 2018. I came here in 2017. I left an abusive marriage, and that's what brought me to Atlanta. I have a spa in North Decatur, Atlanta, a luxury spa. I'm the only elite wellness luxury spa in Atlanta, Georgia that specializes in wellness, but also luxury spa services and teeth whitening as well. I also am the type of person that help people. So I help people create their digital library, their ebooks, and also publish their planners or workbooks or journals on Amazon, physical books on Amazon, and I also create virtual tours for people, entrepreneurs, and I'm also just moved into the mentorship side of things. God, He allowed me to become a mentor to people, to help aspiring entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs that do not know how to scale their businesses and to come up with strategic ways to get passive income.
Okay, so you, my friend, got a lot going on. You definitely a mover and a shaker, girl. You are obviously an entrepreneur. How did you get started in entrepreneurship, period?
Well, I've always had this sense of creativity. I'm a very creative person. So I've always tried to make things. I remember in 2013, I was making earrings out of Palmer's clay, but I did not know how to actually go about marketing and all of those things. And I didn't think people really wanted to buy my stuff and, just all of that going on. And so I worked in corporate 23 years. However, I've always had issues with the upper management or, just different things. It was never my work, but it was always the upper management. I don't know if they just thought I was a threat to them or whatever, but it just never worked out. So when COVID came, I lost my job because I was only there 2 months. I was prior a claims examiner, but because of depression and listening to doctors, they gave me medication. I went out on leave because around November is when I lost my mom. And that was 6 years ago, but it used to give me depression, and I started taking medication, and I lost my job. So I was there I was there 2.5 years. I had a different plan for my life, so I started as a credentialing in February of 2020, because COVID was last year, and I lost my job in April because of the COVID. And then after that, like God had just gave me a word the other day, in the midst of the storm is your blessing. So regardless of what I was going through, even when I lost my job, I knew that it was something, a blessing in disguise. So God, it was just time for me to just pretty much spend time with Him, get more into my word. He had me preaching on my YouTube channel, ministering, and, just doing a lot of things. So I knew that everything was orchestrated in a certain purpose. And so when I moved here in 2017, I met this guy. He was from Atlanta. A lot of people here in Atlanta, they're very entrepreneur mindset. That's what they're all about. He taught me about LLC, and he taught me about Dun and Bradstreet, and he taught me about becoming like a business person. I never thought about it. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, because I wouldn't have never did this in Richmond, Virginia. And he just saw something in me. And so from there, I, structured a business, and I started doing drop shipping as a boutique. But I didn't like it because my vendors were in China, so the stuff was not being branded. It was just not, so I shut it down when COVID came. So I was doing it and working as a claim examiner. And then after that, that's when I decided to start another venture. I started making lip glosses, and that was in August. So I started doing that, and I had another store with accessories and things like that. Then after that, something just like it just didn't work out. I was just like, no, I don't really like doing these lip glosses. It's really, really messy. So I was like, So I got a Cricut machine. I mean, I pivot a lot, so I have a lot of creative things. I started making canvas pictures out of the canvases and things like that. So I started doing that. But again, I did not know how to market. I did not know how to really do the things that I'm doing now because I didn't have a mentor or coach. I didn't know anything about none of this type of stuff. And then when April, I was getting ready to go on a trip, and with COVID and all the weather, all the weight and stuff like that, I started having like little fat pockets. And I was like, okay, I'm getting ready to go on this trip with people I don't know. I'm gonna have my bathing suit on. Let me try to figure out a way to get my body together. So I looked on Groupon and I saw lipo, laser lipo, and all this stuff. So I looked on YouTube because I'm a research buff. So I looked on YouTube and I started seeing that it was saying it's non-invasive. It doesn't hurt. So I went and I got it done. And that's how I became a body contour specialist and get into the spa business and everything like that. So that's what happened. I got certified in July, and it's just been uphill from there.
Okay. So God brought you to entrepreneurship through all of these different things that we've had going on, COVID and all of the rest. How you developed a relationship with Christ in the beginning?
As a child, like I said, he formed me before I was in my mother's womb. He knew who I was going to be before I even knew who I was going to be. I remember going to church with my grandmother all my life until I was 17. I turned my back on God because he took my grandmother away. I couldn't understand it at the time because I was still young, and I was always teacher of students with Sunday school. I remember laying hands on my mom at 3 years old. I remember just always having that faith in God. My dad got paralyzed when I was 7 years old. So my faith really became strong when my dad told me that he saw the light and that God told him it was something for him to do and that it was not time for him to go. So that right there already let me know that it was truly somebody higher than us that was, orchestrating on our behalf of our life. And so that's really how it all started. I've always been just a person that loved the Lord. I've always been a person that evangelized. Even as a child, I've always been like that. So it's just something that it's always been in me. But then I'm like the prodigal son. I went out there.
We all got that moment.
I went out there into the world. I drank, I partied, I got into some trouble. God, he always had his hands on me though, but I had to go through those things to keep me to be stronger, to help me to go on my path for where God was trying to take me to. Because if I hadn't went through those things, I would not been able to withstand losing my mom and dad. I would not have been able to withstand the things that I went through today that has made me who I am today. So I'm so thankful and grateful for every trial and tribulation of my life, because I would not be the person I am today without it. And so that's just, I just love the Lord. Then in 2006, that's when, after 7 years, from like 18 to 26, I went out there into the world, and I remember I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and I lost my job. I wrecked my car. My godmama passed away. All this stuff happened in the month of August of 2006, and so after that, maybe 4 or 5 days later, it was like a miraculous thing happened. I found myself preaching, speaking in tongues in my house, and it was a Friday the 13th. And ironically, that's the same day my mom passed, in 2015 on a Friday the 13th. But on this particular day, Friday the 13th, I found myself preaching, speaking in tongues. I had witnesses around me. It was just like God started just drawing people to me. I didn't care about vanity at that moment. It was just like I stripped myself of all the things. I used to wear green contacts. That day I put my eyeglasses on. I went out there and I started evangelizing, just telling people about God. It was like amazing. Like I didn't even care what I had on. I just threw something on. My friend, she was pregnant. She said, let's go get pizza. We went downtown and people were just drawn to me. And I just told them, I said, you know why you're drawn to me? Because I'm going to tell you about this miracle that happens today, about that God is really real. And all the things that he had for me to tell these people. And it was so amazing. I started calling everybody. I started evangelizing. I said, I worked so hard for the devil. I'm going to work 110% for God. So I took it and I started calling everybody, just telling them about God, telling them about this miraculous thing that had happened to me. Like it was just, I was on fire. It was a zealous 6 months of my life that I had.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So it sounds like you really had a God encounter.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, when the Holy Spirit falls, he falls correct,
Yes.
don't he? He falls correct. What have been some of your biggest challenges?
Pretty much getting my team together, knowing that I don't want to be a solopreneur, changing my mindset from this control freak to trusting people that they can do the work. And that's been one of the biggest challenges for me because I'm used to doing everything myself, but at the same time I'm moving into more of a CEO boss mentality. And so that has been one of the things that has helped me to conquer entrepreneurship, delegating, getting my virtual assistant together and different things like that. Also just being consistent, just showing up, just continues to show up when you have so much going on your plate. Is just that's been a challenge. But time management, just making sure that you're getting things together, just being more organized for real. So yeah, those are some of the things that I'm working on now, trying to get more organized, because I'm the type of person, I don't like to write things down. It's just all in my head. But at the end of the day, I'm like, no, I have to get more organized because I got all these meetings. I got this, set up. I got this right here. I got this webinar here. I'm learning this. I'm doing this. And, so just strategic things to just keep me, motivated and going with my business.
All right. All right. Well, they say those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength.
Yes. Yes.
You have a lot of fantastic things going on. We can tell that God has his hand upon you. What are some of your biggest accomplishments?
So some of my biggest accomplishments, I would say, is within maybe 2 or 3 months, I secured my own salon, my own suite, my own spa, a 3-room spa. And that was only by the hands of God. The blessing that he have even bestowed upon me of even finding that spot is people that's out here years and years and they never get nothing but a 1-room spot. And I have 3 rooms that I have. So within I think I got that in October. So within 2 months of me being in a spa industry, I was able to secure that spot. Another accomplishment of mine is that just knowing how to pivot, just knowing how to just help other people, just pouring into other people. I think that's a big accomplishment for me, to know that I can regurgitate the information that I have got to be able to help other people. So I think that's a big accomplishment for me, knowing that I'll be able to build other people up mentally. And that's what it's all about, the mindset and different things like that when it comes to being an entrepreneur. And also just overcoming. I think that's one of the most biggest achievements of my life, overcoming seeing my mom take her last breath, overcoming an abusive marriage, overcoming losing everything time and time again and starting over. Just keep on persevering and being resilient. So I think that's a big achievement of mine that, is to be celebrated.
Yes, definitely celebrated. Definitely celebrated. And I love what you said about just being an overcomer, because sometimes we can get stuck in the things that we've gone through, and God wants us to be able to overcome.
Yes.
How your relationship with God has not only just helped you with your entrepreneurship, but also helped you through, like you mentioned, the loss of your parents, and also this abusive marriage that you speak of. How did your relationship with God keep you?
Without God, I mean, the devil is busy, and the devil will work in your mind and in your head. And before I start really drawing nigh to God and really trusting in God, I used to have these moments where I would have these depression thoughts, these suicidal thoughts. I've even tried to commit suicide in 2009. But then once I realized that God is in control of all things, once I lost my mom, it's like I got a different perspective on life. Once I saw that, and I was able to still stand with God regardless of what, because she had did her work. And this is what I said the other day on my live. I had asked God for a miracle, and I held my mom within the 10 seconds of her time was going down, because I saw my mom take her last breath. I heard the ruach, I heard the breath of life leave her. I told God, I said, I'm praying for a miracle, but let your will be done. And so God, he gave me a revelation the other day. He said, I did do a miracle. He did the miracle in me, though. The miracle was in me,
The
was
miracles.
cleansing me up, was was taking me from a filthy rag and cleansing me up so that I can be used by him. And so my relationship with him, I don't know what I would do without him. I really don't. I don't, because without him, I'm lost. Without him, the devil would try to tell me I'm nothing. Without him, I would not have been where I am today. Without him, losing my job, who knows where I would be if I did not have the faith. And that's what it's all about. And I try to tell people that God just really wants you to trust him when you're going through something. Trust him, have faith in him, regardless of what it may look like. It is going to work out. Count it all joy, all your trials and tribulations, is only to make you strong, is only to break you down. He has broken me down time and time again. But at the end of the day, I still stand strong and stronger than ever. And, like I said, pressure makes diamonds, and I'm shining bright in this moment. And I'm also the type that God uses to bring people in. People see my story and they get very encouraged. People hit me up in my DMs and my messenger, and they say, I know there's a God. I know there's a God because the way that you're moving in your life, and I'm like, to God be the glory. He gets all the glory. I'm just a servant. That's all I am.
That is extraordinary. And I just love it when you said, and I think a lot of us go through loss. We go through maybe mental challenges. We go through all of these things, and we wonder, and we sometimes pray for a miracle, for him to work in those situations. And like you said, the miracle sometimes is in us, is that transformation that occurs.
Yeah.
My God. All right. So, what are some of the recommendations that you would have for our listeners?
First and foremost, consult God in everything that you do. That's the first thing that I would say. When you don't know the answer, sometimes you just have to just do. Sometimes you just have to do. You can't have fear. So do not have a spirit of fear. You just have to do. If I would have had the fear to not do the things when it came to my business, I would not be here today. I would not have met the amazing people that I met. I would not have the opportunities that I have. So I would say to just, trust God. If he gave you that idea, if he gave you that vision, then he's going to bring it to fruition. He's going to bring it, to pass. So every gift, like I always love the parable about the talents. God gave us lots of talents. Like God gave me a lot of talents. Mm-hmm. And I don't sit on my talents. But some people sit on their talents, and God said, well, what did you do with your talent? He gave us these talents for a reason. We're not supposed to be working for the corporations. We're supposed to be the head, not the tail. And see, that's what God said. But see, we in this mentality of being these workers. No, we're supposed to be the lenders, not the borrowers. And so, just trust God in everything that you do. That's one thing. Get you a coach, get you a mentor, get you a team, get you like-minded people that know, have been through your pitfalls and different things like that can help you when you feel discouraged. Get you a business bestie. It's always good to have that person that you can vent to when it comes to your business. So those are some things that has helped me, just being around like-minded people, even in, church or even in entrepreneur. You still have to have like-minded people around you because iron sharpens iron.
Yes. I love that. The head, not the tail. Okay. That's right. And then, okay, so we have heard this phenomenal story, this awesome, amazing testimony of God's work and will in your life. So tell us a little bit about how this journey with Christ, this entrepreneurial journey, this life journey has transformed you as a person.
Well, it says like I'm just my foundation. My foundation cannot be moved. My foundation is stronger. It's not built on quicksand. It is built on a strong foundation, and that foundation comes from Christ. It comes from my upbringing of having that relationship at a young age with God. And so whatever God allows the enemy to throw in my life, I can withstand it. whatever the test that maybe, given to me, I can withstand those tests. That's one thing that I had to overcome in my 20s. I kept on having to do these same things over, and I was like, man, I can't pass this test. I'm like, it keeps coming up. I can't pass these tests. But now I'm getting ready to be 42 next month, and I'm passing my test. God is just, using me in a mighty way. And I'm just so grateful for the relationship that I am able, because you know how the song said, it said, even if your mama pray, your daddy pray, you better know how to pray and have a relationship with God yourself. My mom and daddy are gone. My grandmother is gone. So if I didn't have that relationship with God, no telling where I might be today. So a lot of people out here that's strung out on drugs. There's a lot of people that are, going back and forth. They don't know where they're going. They're lost, and so I'm just grateful and thankful that God has, his hands on me so much that he wants me to succeed. He wants me to have a relationship with him. He don't want me to be in the trenches. I am one of his. So I'm so grateful for that.
A daughter of the King.
Yes.
A daughter of the King. All right. I want to thank you so much for being on the Millionaire Faith Show. Any final thoughts? Tell us how we can contact you. Tell us how we can, our listeners might be able to get in touch with you.
Okay. So I do have a freebie for those people that want to start their journey with their health, because even though you have, your entrepreneur, you still have to worry about your health, and we have to have a great mindset as well. So you can text the word BF to 404-857-0030 to get on my text mail list, and you can get my freebie, which is an ebook. And also you can check me out on my Instagram, which is Mo Beaute Custom Bar, because everything is customized for my clients. So it's Mo Beaute with an E, Custom Bar. And you can also, if you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, you can come and visit me at Mo Beaute Glam Bar, and that is in North Decatur.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'll make sure that I have all of that listed in the descriptions and everything so that our listeners are able to contact you. But my friend, my sister in Christ, I want to just say thank you, from the bottom of my heart for coming on the Millionaire Faith Show. I always just say a little prayer. We just pray over you that God would continue to bless you and use you, that he would take your voice and it would go just to all the people in all the lands. We thank God for you, and we pray for prosperity, and we will see you all on the Millionaire Faith Show the next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.